Before I start talking about it, I want to talk about this. So, as you guys could see, I did said my last upload was supposed to be my last. Hopefully, keyword was hopefully, it was going to be my last time to video about this truck. But apparently, long story short, apparently the guy that was supposed to buy the truck, he somehow, I don't know if it was, I really don't know what's going on, but he came look at the truck and liked it or this and that, and he agreed on buying it. But somehow it sucks because he told me that he wanted to meet up the next day, this and that, to be able to purchase a truck. And I was like, oh yeah, that's cool, this and that. But he was a no call, no show. But apparently, it's not a big deal for me, but I am really selling my truck, so the goal is to be able to sell it. But in the meantime, I'm still gonna be able to give you guys little, update and stuff like that. But shit happened. I'm not really stressed out about the situation. And it's not a big deal for me. The goal is to sell it, but I'm not here to talk about that today. What I want to talk about is, pretty much how I really end up buying this truck. That's why I want to be able to cover up and talk about that. As you guys probably seen in my last couple previous uploads and stuff, I talk about it before. I talk about some of it. I wouldn't say I talk about the whole story. So I'm gonna be telling you guys pretty much, giving you guys a whole storyline of how pretty much I bought this truck. So I'm gonna be able to tell you guys. I feel so weird right now. I'm in the middle of a parking lot, and it's like no cars over here. So it's just me talking. So I'm gonna give you guys a whole 360 view. Like I'm a little bit camera shy, so I gotta get used to the camera. So hang with me. But I'm gonna give you guys like the full actual story about how I went about getting this truck. And the funny thing about it really wasn't part of my plan. Like I was just saying before, like what I really believe in. I'm a person who believes that stuff happens for a reason. If it really meant for you, it's gonna be able to happen. So let me give you guys a story on pretty much how I end up with this truck. But I'm gonna sit in the car for a little bit because it's it's a little bit windy and cold out here. It's like 57. It might not be cold to some people, but for me, it's a little bit chilly. And the only thing about it is, it's a little bit windy though. I don't mind standing outside, but it's a little bit windy. So I'm gonna sit in the car so you guys could be able to hear me talk. Well, you guys let me know though, is like, am I like the only person who, sometimes like, well, I say mainly if you got a pickup truck, I say, can you relate? Like sometimes when you, just cleaning up a whole pickup truck is like, it's like a whole freaking, like it takes forever for me. I'm not even trying to be lazy, but it takes forever for me. So most of the time now, I don't even wash my truck on the outside. Like I just probably clean the inside. And the good thing is, normally I will try to wash my truck every now and then. That's if we had some snow and we have some salt on the ground. But apparently, the good thing is it haven't snowed really at all. Where I'm at in Bucks County, PA, it haven't snowed at all. So that's a good thing. And I can't stand the snow. So that's one of my things too. Why I do not want to plan. I'm not planning on living in PA forever. That's the goal. But I'm gonna go back to the story. So I'm gonna tell you guys right now. And get back on topic. Let me set up my camera. So I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I gotta set up my camera. Hold on. All right, so here's the thing. So this is how I'm gonna start off like this. So I own this truck about, I'll say 2.5, 3 years now. So I own this truck for about 3 years, and don't get me wrong, the truck is a good daily. I use this truck back and forth to work, get my kids, this and that. Even my wife, she uses it too every now and then, but she currently is using it too right now. So that's like the only car we have right now. So I gotta wait for a little bit until she, we get be able to get a new car. So like the thing is, when I had a Ford Mustang GT before. I had that, and it was a 2003 Ford Mustang GT, and I ended up, putting a little bit of work and money into it, and then I ended up selling it because around that time, that's when Mustangs is not really like a car you want it daily, especially if you down where like I'm at, and how when we get snow and stuff like that, it's kind of difficult for you to be able to use a car like that, and it's a two-wheel drive, so it sucks getting around. Also, it's a coupe, it's a two-door car. You can't really fit much people in there, so I ended up selling that car. When I sold it, this was the plan. The plan was, I really wasn't planning on, like, I never really know much about, the whole truck game, this and that, lifting your truck, putting some wheels and tires on it. I really wasn't that kind of guy. That wasn't like my kind of style, to be honest with you. But I did like seeing some trucks like that. But my main style was, I've always been a Mustang guy. Mustang was also like always been dream cars. I always wanted to own, especially the 2003 Ford Mustang Colt. I always wanted to have a Mustang. So like I said, long story short, I got a family now, so I decided to sell my Mustang. So the plan was for me, when I had saved up some money, was I was looking around trying to find like the right car, the right truck. Pretty much when I try to, when I'm buying a car, like I'm a person who like to not rush the process. That way, I feel like when you take your time looking, you'll be able to find that perfect. When it's a perfect, you'll be able to find the right place and stuff like that for me. Instead of you trying to rush and buy something and then later on down the road, you end up finding something that's the same exact car. You end up finding something that's the same exact truck or car, whatever, that's way less than what you end up paying for, and you miss out on that opportunity and stuff like that. Or you could probably end up getting like some kind of limit car or something like that. But I like to be trying to take my time trying to find like that right vehicle. But anyway, so long story short, I end up finding, it was a 2007 or 6, I believe it was 2006 Dodge Ram 2500. It was all blue. It was like grabber blue, pretty much. And this was in New Jersey. It was about an hour 45 minutes from around there. And I seen it, and then I seen another diesel truck that caught my attention. It was the same, pretty much same exact color as this, but it wasn't as clean as the first one I seen, which was the blue one. And when I seen, I reached out to them. I said, hey, look, I would like to buy the truck. And you reach out to salesmen, it's like a salesperson, pretty much a salesperson you reach out to, and they will get you situated and started up. So the time I reached out, mind you, the time I reached out to this guy was around like in the afternoon when I got off work. That's when I had seen the vehicle. Obviously I didn't have the time to go up there, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna wait till tomorrow and then go up there. And this was on a Friday. I reached out to him on Friday night. I was like, we talked for a little bit. He's like, yeah, I'm at the dealership. We close at 7:30 to 8. So I reached out to him. We talked. I was like, hey, look, man, I'm serious about buying this truck tomorrow. I'd like to come in. Is there a way? He's like, yeah, fine. You could come in, this and that. Set up a time to meet up with him. And then the funny part, literally the next day, I'm not making the story up. The next day, pretty much the next day before I was going to go to the dealership to purchase the vehicle, one of my friends of mine was going to take me up there. And I just wanted to, mind you, it was a long distance driving, meaning an hour, 45 minutes. Wanted to make sure everything was ready. I don't want to drive up there and then, something else happened or this happened. And that was the only vehicle that I was interested in that was over there. It was supposed to be a diesel truck, this and that. So I reached out to them, call them, and I ended up speaking to somebody else. It was a different salesman. He ended up telling me, hey, this and that. I said, hey, look, long story short, I said, hey, look, man, I reached out about yesterday about this truck. I want to know if this truck is still available. I lie to you not. few hours after this was the next day, a few hours after I reached out. Hey, look, I want to come in, purchase this truck. I want to see if it's available. I'm coming from like an hour, 45 minutes away. And next thing I look, he ended up telling me, he's like, hey, look, you know, that vehicle just sold. So I'm sitting on the phone like, hey, I reached out yesterday. I talked to such and such, and we scheduled for a time to come in for me to be able to take a look at the vehicle and purchase it, this and that. And I'm coming from an hour, 45 minutes. I was like, oh man, that sucks, this and that. Is there anything else I can help you with, this and that, long story short. So I was a little bit disappointed, you know, that could have been my first diesel truck. I was a little bit disappointed, but I really, deep down, at that point, I really wanted to get a vehicle, and I wanted to get a pickup truck. So I didn't really know much about, because like I said, I'm a Mustang guy coming from like a smaller car. I really didn't know much about like diesel and stuff like that, how powerful they could really be. So I wasn't really too much in tune with it. I knew a little bit, but I really didn't know too much. So I was like, damn, okay. Well, I ended up canceling out, and I ended up looking somewhere else, because that same day I was trying to get a car before, you know, I started work on Monday. That was the weekend. So I ended up canceling. I ended up going back online, doing my little research, and I ended up looking at this truck. And I seen this truck. It caught my attention. Mind you, it's a 2006 Dodge Ram, pretty clean, no rust. Barely, it really didn't have much rust on it. I wouldn't say no rust, but it didn't have no like much rust as most of the ones that's down here that I see at a dealership. The only thing was how the bed is now. When I show you guys how the bed is now, pretty much the bed had most of the rust. That's exactly how it is now. But it just, you know, got worse over time a little bit. But that's exactly how it was. And I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty clean, this and that. This is the one I'm going to end up getting this truck. And it was a little bit cheaper. Mind you, diesel is a little bit more expensive than gas truck. So I was a little bit disappointed that day. So I ended up going down there, and I purchased this truck, and I fell in love with it. And then I started doing a little bit of research on lift and the tire setup. So the lift kit, this is the funny thing, the lift kit, a lot of you not, this lift kit is about $4,000. So this lift kit, when I seen that price, I wasn't really, at that time, I really didn't know much about lift kits, all that stuff, doing all that to trucks. So I was thinking like, damn, maybe I could look somewhere else and try to see if I could find like a cheaper lift kit or something like that. And this same lift kit I was looking at on Google, that was about $4,000. I ended up finding a buyer, somebody who purchased it. It was an older couple that purchased it for their son. Apparently, he had the same truck as me, a gas truck, 2006. Same exact truck, pretty much. And they told me that it was pretty much brand new. It was never open. You know, man, so rest in peace. But they said he ended up passing away. So they was like, oh, okay, that's the reason why. Because I asked, you know, why would you want to sell this and that? And they ended up telling me that, you know, their son had passed. So it was mainly for him. And this was a brand new lift kit. So they wanted about $2,000 for it. So they was about 45 minutes away from me. So when I seen that, I got up, went over there, purchased the lift kit. And also it came with warranty and all that stuff. They had all the information, all the paperwork, everything. That's how come I was like, okay, when I seen, you know, I started looking into trucks and seeing how they was lifted up. That's when I thought 6.5 inch. I said, to some people it might be small, but to me, I was like, damn, it's gonna be a pretty, you know, big truck. It's gonna be pretty high up, this and that. And I ended up putting a lift kit on there. And then the tires, I had 22 by 12 before in the past. That's what I had on there. And they were matte black wheels I had on there. They wasn't really, they look good, but 22 by 12 and 22 by 14s, 12 wise and 14 wise is a huge difference. So like the look I was really looking for is like, some of you guys might probably know this YouTuber name. His name is Dat Wild Bowtie. I have found his Instagram, and I have seen, that's where I really got the idea of like my setup on how, if I'm getting a truck, like how pretty much how I want it, like how I'm going to want it to be, and like I'm really trying to go for the stands and stuff like that. So when I seen how his setup was, he was running 14 wides on there. I think, matter of fact, he was on 15 wides. I think he was on 15 wides. So when I seen that, that's when I ended up going with my setup because I thought it looked good. I thought it looked good, and ain't nothing wrong with ain't nothing wrong with trying to get a little bit of dispersing creation and adding a little bit blend to it and stuff like that. For me, ain't nothing wrong with that. We all copy of somebody and stuff like that. I don't see anything wrong with it, but that's how I ended up getting this set up. And the 12 wides I put on there, I didn't like them, so I ended up selling those. And then I ordered these tires, which was 22 by 14. And it's a huge difference. I'm pretty sure if you own a lifted truck and you had either one before, like, you'll notice it's a huge difference. But the only thing it comes with, 14 wides come with stuff that you gotta, obviously it comes with put a lot of pretty much like pressure on your suspension on your truck. So that's why you really gotta be careful and try to, every probably month or two or something like that, check your tires, your wheel hubs and stuff like that. Those are something I do. But pretty much that's the real story on how I came about getting this truck. So I just wanted to be able to put it out there and be able to tell you guys because this wasn't really part of my plan. Like, it wasn't really part of my plan before. So I just ended up going with this truck, and it's a beautiful truck. My only issue is just that it's not a diesel truck. And I try to look at two, I did my comparison before to try to get like to try to do a motor swap. All that stuff is going to be really expensive because you got to do so much and it takes so much time. I'd rather just go out, sell this truck, and just end up purchasing the diesel truck if I can find one. But let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment, and that's gonna be it. Peace out.